All right, duelists. So apparently there is a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh format that I did not know about that Konami just dropped this morning. And the reason why I got this news was because of Milano. Milano called me and he was like, yo, Sam, there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh announcement. You need to take a look at this because Konami just implemented a new way to play the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. So I'm like, wait, hold on. First we got TCG, Master Duel, and now there's apparently a new way to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Ladies and gents, you guys already know on Team Samurai X1, I try to cover everything Yu-Gi-Oh related. So hearing this from Milano was a very huge surprise. And honestly, anything Yu-Gi-Oh related, I'm going to be excited. And I'm here to share either the good news or the bad news of all things Yu-Gi-Oh. So without further ado, let's hop into X and see on what this thing is all about. Guys, this is going to be my initial reaction. And I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on whatever this new format or new game is for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. And give you guys my honest opinion. Is this ass? Is this good? Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be completely honest with this. And without further ado, let's get it. Let's go. So, introducing Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Genesys. A brand new way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Read more here. So first, we have a video. So let's take a quick look at this video. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay. A little trailer thing. Okay, looks kind of like Annal's Infinity Stone vibes. Whoa. Yo, this is giving me goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Holy smokes. I love this soundtrack, bro. It makes me want to become Yugi Moto, you know what I'm saying? But damn, okay. Obviously nothing to really see there. It was just like a little intro that Konami, you know, is teasing at us, which is awesome. You know, I love teasers. I love trailers, and that's pretty cool. So let's take a look at what this Genesys? Like Genesys? Like, how do you pronounce this? Google Translate. Okay.
Genesys.
Genesys. Genesys? Why isn't it spelled correctly? Why is it spelled like this? I swear Genesis is spelled this way.
Genesys.
I swear Genesis is spelled this way, bro. Did they have a spelling error? They put a Y instead of an I? Let me know if this is the correct term or the correct spelling. Anyways, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys. What is Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys? So the Genesys rules are simple. No link monsters or pendulum monsters are allowed. Yo, chat. What are we saying now? No link and no pendulum? Okay. This is insane. Do you guys remember back in the day when there was no Master Duel and all we had to use was these online simulators that I'm not going to name names because these names are forbidden in the Konami rulebooks? You feel what I'm saying? Do you remember those days where you would go online and play on these apps that lets you play Yu-Gi-Oh? And in the notes, people will write, no link monsters, no pendulums, no XCs, no synchros, just fun, no meta. That's literally what Konami is doing with Genesys right here. Insane. This is what they're doing with Genesys. I like that. I really like that. Okay. The meme is coming to life, ladies and gents. All other cards are allowed. The original field layout is used with no extra monster zones nor pendulum zones. Okay, so guys, no link, no pendulums. We're going back to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Field layout of just 5 up top, 5 on the bottom, 5 monster zone, 5 spawn trap zone, 1 fusion deck, 1 graveyard, 1 manage zone, 1 deck. I like that. I like that. I like the fact that they're trying to keep Takahashi's original Yu-Gi-Oh! Alive, which is what I really like. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. The standard forbidden and limited list is not used. Oh, so we're getting a new ban list. So ladies and gents, we are getting a new ban list for this specific Genesys format. All those cards can be used except for link monsters and pendulum monsters. Usual limit of 3 copies max of any card still applies. Okay, this is great. Custom ban list, custom format. I love it. Number 3, deck construction uses a point system. Okay. Interesting. Some cards are assigned a point value. Most cards cost 0 points. The total point cost of cards in your main deck, extra deck, and side deck combined cannot exceed the point cap for that event. Oh, the standard point cap is 100, but events can be run with any point cap or even a 0 point cap. Official tournament stores can set their own caps for their tournaments. Okay, so your deck has a point cap with how broken cards are. So it's like kind of like their own mini ban list of cards that are like too broken, obviously are going to be at 100 points, right? So this is awesome. I like the fact that we're still playing kind of like OG Yu-Gi-Oh, but without links and pendulums, because you guys already know how links and pendulums kind of like change the game and change the way that Yu-Gi-Oh is played forever because of how kind of like difficult the mechanics was compared to Xyz, Synchros, and Fusion. You know, obviously the golden age Yu-Gi-Oh, in my personal opinion, has to be Dual Monsters, GX, and 5Ds. Everything after that, I did not really watch. And I'll be honest, 5Ds was like one of my favorite animes of all time. Like, it was so good. Like, those 3 Yu-Gi-Oh for me was my childhood. Like, Dual Monsters, GX, and 5Ds. And the fact that we can still kind of like resonate with those 3 formats is what's really amazing in my personal opinion. So let's take a quick look at the ban list real quick, okay? So from what my understanding is that it's a specific ban list. No links or pendulum monsters are allowed. And, you know, we're going back to the original Yu-Gi-Oh layout, but cards have different point values, meaning that, you know, if a tournament has a standard point cap of 100, that means basically any cards with 100 points is banned. And like they said, most cards, some cards are assigned a point value, but most cards are cost 0 points. So you have to build a deck based on the point cap system that the tournament organizers or the YCS were the hosts. This is great. So here right now is the card name. So Abyss Dweller has 100 points. So basically this card means it's banned. It's banned. All right, this card is banned. All right, Abyss Dweller is basically banned. All right, we're gonna need Jesse Con to come up with a crazy deck with this format, because Jesse Con is really good with this stuff. I want you guys to know, with constructive and alternative formats, Jesse Con has the biggest brain when it comes to this. And you guys do not know, Jesse Con is the one that actually organizes all the Dual Night drafts and everything. And I cannot wait to see what Jesse Con cooks up with this. It's gonna be super duper fun. But anyways, Abyss Dweller is banned. Dragite, obviously, is a card that negates spawn traps. It's 20 point value. So that means that, you know, if you're playing Dragite in your deck and the cap is 100 points, you need to be able to consider that, yo, maybe this isn't a card that you should play in your deck because it's 20 point value. Or if this card is needed in your deck, it might be one of those heavy hitters that you can use in your deck, right? Agido is at 50 points, so that means that, you know, obviously every card is at 3, so that means that you can only play one Agido essentially in your deck. Allure Darkness is at 5 points. I like that. So you can still play a 3 Allure. That means your deck is at 15 point value. Let's look at all the 100 points that are banned. And the ban played on Floodgate, Angel 07. Why is this card at 100 points? Angel. Why is this card at 100 points? Angel 07. What? Oh, okay. Obvious. Okay, I thought Angel 07 was like was another card from the Slifer structure deck, but obviously this is the Floodgate. All right, that's why it's obviously 100 points. It's banned. Anti-Spell is banned. Arcana Force is banned. Questia is banned. Obviously, Protos, Escados. Okay. Artifact Scythe is always banned. All these cards that are like, you know, 1 card locks is obviously banned, which is a great thing. Ash Blossom is at 15 points. So if you decide to play Ash Blossom in your main deck, that's already 45 points gone if you want to play that. So who knows if Ash Blossom is good or not in this format like this. So Beatrice, Lady of Eternal. This card isn't a Floodgate, but it's like a Foolish Burial. That's absolutely free. It makes sense. All the Barrier statue, it's at 60 as well. But I think, yo, like, why don't you just put this at 100? Baron the Floor is at 85, bro. So if you want to play Baron in this format, yo, that's 85 points, bro. 100-point cap limit. Imagine bro, imagine how chaotic this would be if there's no point system. Like, look at this. Wow. So obviously all the banned cards are at 100 points. It just needs to, it makes sense. Maxi. Yo. What? Maxi is legal. Maxi, you can play 2 Maxis in your deck. Maxi is legal, chat. No. Yo, if you build a deck and you throw in 2 Maxis, bro, that is hilarious. Chat. That is crazy funny. That, bro, no, man. Please, guys. Yo, this should have been at 100 points, Konami. F the Maxi, bro. Guys, I've been playing Master Duel so much. The amount of hatred I have for Maxi is out of this world, bro. Maxi is so annoying. Mystic, okay. Mystic Mind's at 100. But why is Maxi at 50, bro? Why are you giving Mans the chance to play Maxi still? That is crazy. Baguska needs to be on here. Baguska needs to be banned, bro. Dark Matter's at 100. Zexal's at 100 because of the Floodgate. Shockmaster's 100 because obviously how broken it is. Baguska's at 100, obviously, because his card is so broken. In Master Duel, Baguska is like an auto-win card. Meows. Okay, Perulia Meows. 10-5. How about Fuwa? Fuwa's at 7. Not bad. But honestly, the format is not solved yet, so I can't really say. Painful Choice is at 95. Yo. What are you saying, Pot of Greed? Yo! Pot of Greed! Pot of Greed is on ban, chat! You can play 3 Pot of Greeds in your deck! Yo, where's Graceful? Bro! 40! Bro! Yo, this is good news, bro. Snatch Steal? Snatch Steal's at 7 points. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. I love it, bro. Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity. Chat. Mitsurugi Prayers. Yeah, honestly, these cards should have been banned. Miscellaneous Source. Chat, yo. 75 points. Mask your Dark Laws at 70, so you can only play 1 Dark Law in your deck. Wow. Lavavo Chain is unbanned. Last Will is at 75 points. Azuna is at 20 points. Wow. 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 What does it say? Okay. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so these are the rules. So now introducing Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis. What's next? We're going to be in an early access for a bit. During early access, we'll have a browser-based deck builder site to build your deck list. Have it count up to your point to cost, make sure your deck is legal, and download a copy to print and take to your tournament. Wow. Official tournament stores can run official sanctioned Genesis tournaments. Today, after a couple weeks, we'll start running Genesis Invitationals at major events like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, so you have this at a YCS. Here's how Genesis Invitational will work. Multiple 16-player mini tournaments will run on Saturdays. Amazing. The first and second place finishers in each, those get to play in the main Invitational held on Sunday at that event. Oh. Multiple 16-player mini events. So basically, they're going to have multiple 16 players. So let's say they have 8 events. Obviously, they'll be top 16, of course, in those events. We dug into the vault for some special prizes handle like original. Okay. Less giant cards like super rare, super size Pot of Greed. Wow. So like they're giving up amazing prize cards here for actually competing in this invitational, which is great. They're actually supporting like alternate formats now in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is fun, guys. This is so good. Bro. Obviously, we don't know how this is gonna work initially. We're just hearing it by ear and hearing it by reading the events that and the information that Konami has given us. But by just reading this right now, guys, it sounds amazing. The fact that you have an alternative format to play Yu-Gi-Oh instead of playing the Yummies or the Mitsurugi or all these other like the new formats and stuff. Yo, I'm all for it, because sometimes I don't want to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. I do love competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. I think it's still a very important cornerstone in all things Yu-Gi-Oh, in my personal opinion. The fact now that we can kind of like go back in time, and this is kind of like their alternate way to do Time Wizard, is just absolutely phenomenal. And I love this. I truly am a fan of this, and the fact that they actually have proper prize support for this, and also at the same time we're using a specific point ban list, but there's no errata. It's like less confusion for those of you who are coming to the game. So like the cards are what it is. They're gonna be the modern cards, the modern print, and we just have to build decks based on the point system of the ban list that Konami has given us. That's literally it. And the fact that they're reviving back cards like Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity and like Painful Choice and even freaking Maxi. Oh my goodness. It's just like very chaotic, and it's also really fun. And on top of that, they're hosting these events at YCS to show players that, yo, we listened. Like, yes, we implemented the time rules. Yes, we kicked you in the knee. We kind of gave you a little Charlie horse with the time rules and like the top 8 only, no more top 32s. But hey, look on the bright side. We're giving you this now. More options to play Yu-Gi-Oh! More ways to play the game. And honestly, I cannot shit on a company that would look out for their players like this. Obviously, a history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes, they don't really listen to us. We never really know what's going on in the back end. At the end of the day, Konami is a multi-billion-dollar company, multi-million. I think they're they're definitely a billion-dollar company. Obviously, stuff has to do with business, from what I can kind of understand. Like, for example, like the top 32 thing, and the reason why they made the top 8 is truly because of like money. 100%. Events are taking too long. Literally, that's it. Venues are expensive. That's what I can conclude, right? Or assume. I think my assumption. But now there's like, yo, we're making like new ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh as an alternative to competitive meta. I'm game. I'm down for it 100,000%. And yeah, so Anaheim is gonna be the first event. Unfortunately, I will not be here. I will not be going to all of these events if you guys are asking me. This year I'm taking Master Duel really seriously, so I'm gonna be a Master Duel man this year. But you guys will see me in Vegas at POC though. For Europe, Genesys Kickoff Invitational at YC Bologna. Bologna. Okay, but anyways, let's conclude this real quick. All right, let's conclude this. I love what they're doing. All right, Pot of Greed, Maxi, Graceful Charity, Painful Choice, all these old cards are now unbanned. All right, W's in the chat for Konami. All right, number 2, point system, new ban list, amazing. Number 3, no links or pendulums, even more amazing. We're going back to the original field layout with monsters only and spell and traps only. Amazing. On top of that, prize support for these events, phenomenal. Real prize support, real prize cards, amazing. Honestly, Konami, shout out to you. I'm very critical about this game because I love this game because it is my life. And obviously, sometimes I say things that are, not really in Konami's favor. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm here to speak truth, and I'm here to just give my honest opinion. Sometimes I'll like things, sometimes I won't. But this time, I'll be honest, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing that Konami has done. So Konami, whoever made Genesys, I'm looking forward to it. Not sure how popular this is going to be, but a format where Pot of Greed is unbanned? Chat, what are we saying here? This is looking beautiful, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what this new rule change is or new format in Yu-Gi-Oh! And are you guys excited for it? Because, if there's a new official format for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm always going to be super duper excited for it, regardless of what Konami throws at us. All right. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I know today's Monday. that Master Wheel is gonna be up. Master Wheel is either gonna be up in a couple hours or Tuesday early morning. I have a special intro made, so just stay tuned for Master Wheel. All right, it's this episode's gonna be really fun. So stay tuned for either tonight or tomorrow morning. All right, guys, just to give you guys a little update. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is your boy Sam from TV Star Sam signing out. All right, guys, peace.